let's talk about several things that could be contributing to the look of clutter in your home, aside from things that are pretty obvious like excess items that just need to be donated and garbage. Let's hop right in. I think we all think of dusty blinds when we think of dusting, things that can really add to a cluttered look in your home. But dusty plants, similarly, can really add to that look of clutter. This is one that I procrastinate. I'm being completely honest. I hate dusting my plants, but it needs to be done. This is a great chore for kids, but dusting your plants regularly and your blinds can really help things look less cluttered. Little crumbs on the countertops, dust kind of laying around your house, surprisingly adds to the look of clutter. It's just something to think about. This is one that I mentioned in a video a couple years back, but it's a good one. Decor with wording. I think it's one of you that actually pointed this out, that your eye really does see just busyness when decor has a lot of wording on it. Since you mentioned this to me, I have really tried to steer clear of signs with lots of little letters, lots of wording. I think you're right. It does add to the look of clutter. If you're going to have wording, I suggest having things that are big, large letters and that don't say very much. I have one in my living room right now, and it's just easy on the eye. Your brain doesn't have to calculate all these little letters to make it out. So this is just clutter in your space, clutter in your head that I don't think you need. Swapping it out for something a little bit more streamlined or removing it altogether. Returns sitting out that you just haven't gotten to. One of the reasons I really like mentioning this one is because yes, it adds to clutter, but if your returns are just kind of hanging out in your house, they will get lost. I know this from personal experience. I've unburied the return bag a year later from things that just got completely forgotten about. So instead of leaving your returns kind of laying around the house, have a designated place for them. Choose a little corner or area of your home that you feel like you can designate for the returns. I cannot believe what a difference it makes just to contain an item. This can take something from looking very, very cluttered and unintentional to actually looking like it's not that bad. It has a purpose. So try and designate a little area in your home where all of your returns go so that you don't forget them. It looks more pleasing on the eye, it's more intentional, and you'll remember to take it back. Receipts can really add to the look of clutter in your home. And again, I just find that having a designated place for them is the key. So I love these little Ziploc organizers. I will link these. I got these on Amazon. I have used them to organize my junk drawer and they've worked great. They're also the perfect size for receipts. So rather than cluttering up your wallet, keep the receipts you know you need or think you might need in a designated place. You could keep this in the return bin to make it really straightforward, but try not to let your receipts lay around the house. It really just adds to that look of clutter. And again, if you're looking for it and you don't know where it is, it can be really frustrating. Items that just aren't in their home can really add to the look of clutter in your space. I like having 10-minute relocate parties. I call it that to make it sound more fun. And it really doesn't take long to do this. 10 minutes, I feel like you can go through your entire house if you're staying focused. If you get sidetracked, it'll take longer. So try, set the timer, just focus on things that need to be relocated, and things will immediately start looking less cluttered when everything's just put back in its proper place. This next one gets a little tricky. I have a rug that my dog completely attacked the corner of, and it's totally frayed. It's not in my budget to run out and buy another rug. These are so expensive, but I feel like I can make it better just by cutting off the frayed edge. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna cut it off. It's still gonna look not amazing, not new, but it's going to look better. So if you have things that are kind of frayed that you can fix just by kind of trimming it up, I highly recommend doing that. Similarly, the couch cushions, I like cutting off the tags. You can just fold inside out and either hand wash or wash on a delicate cycle and line dry. I feel like that is pretty much the standard for all pillowcases. I've actually put mine in the dryer on a low setting and never ruined one. But as soon as I get a pillow or a pillow cover, I will just cut those tags off, and it really does make everything look a little bit more seamless and less cluttered. This is actually my nightstand in real time. I've got some books that I was reading to my daughter, a book that I'm reading. So check out your nightstand, see what might be there that just needs to be relocated or thrown away. This is really a clutter catcher. Nightstands like this, they just tend to pile up. So just take a couple minutes, relocate some items, and it will really help. I'm going to leave the water bottle here because I love having it by my nightstand, but this hasn't been ticking for a very long time. So I'm actually going to remove this, see if I can put some new batteries in it, but for the time being, that's all we've got. That is so much better, and it only took me a couple seconds. We talked about wording on home decor, but wording on soap containers can actually look really, really cluttered if they are sitting out. I like swapping my soap bottles with all the letters and the wording with these really nice ones. They're actually beautiful, but they're not that expensive. I think I generally find them in the bathroom section. You can also get ones that you can't see through. Those look really nice too, especially if you have colored soap, but I love swapping these out. It's just a simple, small thing, but it ends up making a big difference. The top of the fridge is a sneaky place that I find clutter accumulating. Again, here's a look at the top of mine. Even someone like me who really loves a clutter-free space has to keep on top of it, or it just keeps accumulating. So check the top of your fridge, see if you have anything. Look at it, I have a sewing project, a little needlepoint project. I can never finish it if I don't know where it is. So check the top of your fridge for trash and clutter. I think this one might be kind of controversial, but baby announcements, wedding announcements, anything like this can make your space look cluttered. I'm not saying don't display these at all, but if the wedding was 5 months ago and you still have the announcements sitting out, I might suggest having a special binder or a place where you keep these, where you can still enjoy them, still look at them, but they're not actually sitting out in your space. Another kind of design / styling tip is to flip your books around. A lot of books have gorgeous, gorgeous covers, and you might be displaying them on purpose because they're so pretty. But if you want to display your books, but you don't want the busyness and kind of that visual clutter of all the little words, just flip them around. This can look gorgeous. It can be stunning, especially if you have different colors, different kind of patterns on the leafing, like the gold edging. Absolutely beautiful. So if you like having your books displayed, but you're a little worried about all the wording, try this trick. Multiples of one category can end up looking kind of cluttered. What I'm talking about is knickknacks, tons and tons of picture frames, lots of plants. I was reading a book by a designer. I can't remember who it was, but they said that you should not be able to see more than 3 plants in your vision at one time. If you have more than 3 plants, that might be a little too many. It might be contributing to clutter. I've really taken this to heart while decorating my house, and I've made sure that you can't see more than 3 at a time. It can be really fun to have plants in your space, and I think they really add something. They add life and warmth, but just be careful. If you have too many, it might start to look cluttered. I've got a playlist here on the screen if you're interested in checking out more videos on living clutter-free. I'll meet you over there.